morning, folks. Now, due to the noise and the wind, and it looks like we're going to get some rain, I think it's best that I shoot this from inside my van. I know I've had some complaints about me shooting a video from inside my van, but I think with all the noise and the potential rain, I think I'm left with no choice. So I do apologize. So I'll see you in a minute, okay? Okay, so the inspiration behind this video today is based on a YouTuber by the name of Angel Ikig. Well, it's Angel, I'm sure this must be an abbreviation, IKYG. Ikig. I think that's how you pronounce it. Anyway, Angel, if you're watching this, if I've pronounced that wrong, I do apologize. So, why am I making this video? Now, let me tell you a bit about Angel, if you've never seen him before. Right, he's from the United States of America, New York. I believe he said that he's born in, I think he's born in Harlem or the Bronx. He's half black and half Hispanic, but he's very pro-black as such, right? So, and most of his videos is promoting the well-being of black people, and I give him props for that. And most of his videos is in support of black women and their plight, and I also give him props for that also. You know, I always give credit where it's due, and if you're doing something positive for anyone, it's always a good thing. It's always a good thing. Now, this is not necessarily criticism as such. It's something I would like to point out with guys like himself. Now, I wouldn't say that he's totally guilty of it, because he has, to his benefit, he has admitted that things are not always perfect with black women as such. So at least he was honest enough to at least say that. But the point I want to make, and please don't misunderstand me, this is not a black woman bash. I don't bash anyone unless they've bashed me first, or they've said something ridiculous that deserves bashing. So I don't take it upon myself to bash a whole group of people. I always make it very clear exactly who I'm talking about, and I'm very specific, and I always talk about the location. So never ever treat my feedback as a generalization. Anyway, so let's get on with it. Let's move on. So in I can't remember which video. I watched so much of it. And basically, he was more or less encouraging black men to sort of really date more black women as such, right? Now, on the surface, there's nothing wrong with that. On the surface, there really is, right? There really isn't. There really isn't. And I've made this clear in many videos. If you haven't seen me before, I really don't give a shit who you date, who you fall in love with, who you prefer. I couldn't give a flying fuck, because it's none of my business, and it's not my concern, and it has no effect on me. And he also makes that clear in his video as well. But he's made it clear that he's not a fan of mixed relationships and such. So he's very pro sticking to your own race. Okay, that is fine to a degree, but this is where I differ, and this is where I come in with my angle on it. Right. Number one, be you male, be you female. Well, we're specifically talking about black people, but this doesn't necessarily only apply to black people. It applies to everyone else. But just for the sake of the subject, let's focus on black people. But it still applies to everyone else, right? If you're a black woman or a black man, and you've tried to get a black partner, and you've had nothing but rejection, or you've had, cold shoulder, cold, unwelcoming vibe is a form of rejection. And if you've had a lot of that, if you had mostly that, right? If either you've had a lot of it, most of that, of only that, I say you owe it to yourself to find happiness wherever you can find it or whenever it comes. So if that happiness comes to you in a form of a white person, Asian person, be it South Asian or East Asian or Arab or whatever, take the money and run. And when I use the word money, I'm using it as a metaphor for happiness. The money represents happiness. So take the money and run, because you owe it to yourself to be happy in your life. That person's going to treat you with respect and they're going to cherish you and honor you. You take the money and run. That's my advice. Now, in regards to Angel promoting black love, which again, I have no problem with that. But as the youngsters say, because I'm not a youngster, as the youngsters say, I'm going to give you some real talk as they say. And the real talk is, unfortunately, as what's the word I'm looking for? As admirable as that advice is, there's a few things that Angel has kind of overlooked. He's overlooked one thing. Two things he has overlooked. One, not all black men are welcome to all black women. I don't need to tell you this. I mean, I am a good example of that, right? I've said this many, many times. Since my teenage years, I've had a warmer response from women outside of my race most of the time. Not all the time. I haven't dated exclusively outside my race, but I have dated mostly outside my race because of that reason. Since from teenage, especially in high school, Drayton Manor, West London and Hanwell, when it came to nasty things, unpleasant things said to me, it's come mostly from the black girls who was at that. Not all the black girls there, but a lot of the black girls wasn't very nice to me. And when I left school, the tradition carried on. I noticed that the warm response came from outside my race. So obviously, as a young man, I gravitated to where I was welcomed. Can you blame me for that? Right? And so that's something that guys like Angel overlook. And the problem they overlook it because, see, I class myself as balanced. I like to look at things from two sides of the coin. And I like to be as fair as I can. And one thing I will never do, I will never sort of just bestow onto you my positive experience and assume that you are sharing my positive experience, right? And this is guys like Angels seem to do this because they have a good relationship, they got good reaction from black women, they assume that everyone else, it appears, I can't say what's in his mind, so I back up on it. It appears they assume that's the same for everyone else. They assume that we all on the level playing field, and it really isn't so. It really isn't. Not all black men and not all black women are welcome to all black men, and vice versa. It really isn't. There's a multiple of black women who would look at this video right now, look at this face and say, fucking no way in hell. No way in fucking hell. When I was in my parents' island of Grenada, Guelph, St. John, between the years, when I visited there a few times, between the years of 1985 to 1990. Guelph, St. John's, Grenada, right? The treatment that I had from some of the black women over there, I have never treated any black woman like that in my life. I was called too black and ugly. I've never called a black woman too black and ugly. Now, guys like Angel, they don't acknowledge this. They deny it. They sweep it underneath the carpet. Maybe they're too embarrassed of the bad, bad behavior amongst our people. Maybe they just find it too embarrassing to talk about, so they don't talk about it. And this is what, the only thing where I'm going to get hostile, this is what really fucks me off, right? Yes, I do not class all black women as belligerent, belligerent, unpleasant bitches. I do not class all of them that way. Not in the slightest. But don't fucking tell me that the unpleasant bitches don't tell me they're not out there. Don't tell me the cunts are not out there, because there's a cunt in every nation, every race. So don't tell me that the experience I've had, the negative experience I've had, is a figment of my imagination and I'm just making it up, or it's not as bad as you wasn't there when I had the shit thrown in my face. And guys like me, you don't try to educate us about our experience. Fuck you for that. Big time fuck you for that. Right? So don't tell us that we're just making this up and it's our imagination, because then you become just like that white person who's in denial about the experience of a black person when it comes to racism. When they want to fucking tell you how good the world is because I'm alright, Jack, with my white skin, what the hell are you talking about? Sort of thing. Slavery ended years ago, but they have never walked a mile in your shoes, but they want to educate you about your experience as a black person. I've had this before. I've had this from a white woman where is it? I don't want to say name the city, but she comes from the southwest. She's given her experience, and somehow that was a reflection of my existence. Of that, well, fuck off, man. Right? So the principle still lies, because you've had a good experience, good reaction from black women. Don't assume that's the same way for all of us. And like I said, I'm not saying all black women are bad. I'm not saying they're all belligerent, unpleasant and aggressive, but don't deny the existence of those that are. And don't fucking make excuses for them, because, right, I approach them politely. I didn't do anything wrong to them. I am not the guy that fucked them over. So if you're going to make excuses for them, why they're like that, and somehow I should be sympathetic towards them because they've been a cunt to me, fuck you. Fuck you. Anyone's a cunt to me, I'll be a cunt back to them. So don't fucking tell me to be sympathetic to some cunt who's been a cunt to me. Fuck you. Fuck off. Right? Anyway, another point that Angel has overlooked. Now, this is not... what's happened there? Cameras. That's better. Right. This is not... I'm not speaking from any form of jealousy. As the youngsters say, this is real talk. Now, if you see Angel, he's light-skinned, and he's no homo, as the youngsters say, and he's good-looking. To me, he looks like a handsome young man. Light-skinned, handsome young man, and he has that semi-straight hair that a lot of black women would like. So, of course, he's going to get a good reaction from a lot of black women, because there's a lot of black women who like his look. I like a lot of black men who like the equivalent of a light-skinned black woman. So, from a light-skinned person who's good-looking telling you to go where they go because they've had a good experience, is like a white person saying, well, I don't have problems finding a job. Well, obviously, there are white people who have problems finding a job, so I'm not going to be disingenuous to all white people, because there's lots of white people who have it hard getting a job. So I'm not talking about you, Mr. White Man or white woman who's getting trouble for getting a job. But I'm talking about who the cat fit wears it. So let's talk about those who have life easy. So to the white person who has life fairly easy, and they say to you, oh, I don't have problems getting a job. I don't have problems finding a place to live. I don't get stopped by the police very much. Thank you very much in my comfortable, privileged white skin. So what the hell are you talking about? The world is fair and good because it's good to me, right? Like I said, this does not apply to the white people who do not share this positive existence, right? So who the cat fits wears it. So Angel giving advice to a guy like me who's dark skinned, who's not classically good looking. I mean, to some women, I'm good looking, but to a lot of women, I'm not good looking, right? And they've made that very clear to me. despite the fact that I work as entertainer and I'm, you know, and I've had a pretty good love life. I've had a very adventurous love life. Still, despite all of that, there's a lot of women. I am just simply not their type. And I'm all right with that. I'm cool with that because I know where my bread is buttered and I know where I'm welcomed. But for a guy like Angel to bestow his advice to guys like us is a bit of a joke. You see what I'm saying? So that is my point about guys like him, brothers like him who has a good run and they overlook the bad experience that guys like us have. That is the point of this video. Be mindful of who you're talking to. Respect their experience. When they tell you that they've had not so positive experience as you have had, respect them for that. Respect their experience. Don't sweep it underneath the carpet. Don't gloss over it. Acknowledge there are shitty people in our community, or if you want to use the word community, there's shitty people amongst us, and don't deny that. Don't make excuses for them. Yeah, okay, yeah. Okay, yes, they may have had life hard. Yes, they may have had, they may have been fucked over by a lot of people, but that does not give them excuse to be shitty to you that has not done nothing to them. So don't make excuses for them. Don't justify their shitty ways thrown at you. Don't make excuses for them. Yes, we emphasize and we sympathize that they haven't had a great time in their lives, but that does not give them an excuse to be a cunt to a total stranger who doesn't have a bet. Yes, they could have their guard up, right? You know, I'm not telling someone to totally trust a complete stranger. Of course not. Having your guard up and being an outright rude cunt is two different things. Okay? I've spoken for too long now. This video is way longer than I would have liked it, so I'm going to end the video here. So thank you very much for watching my video. I do not take your time for granted. So there you go. So the YouTuber name, if you want to check out his channel, is Angel IKYG. Okay, thank you very much, and I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.